Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Episode 250... 60... 58. Baldox says that it's episode 258, and he would know better than I, so I'm going to go ahead and agree with that. Thank you, Baldox, for keeping track. Episode 258. Good to see you all. Ladies... Oh no, apparently something is wrong with the audio. Alright, let's see exactly what you're hearing. Hold on. The audience is now deaf, says Lepidus. Alright, let's see exactly what you're hearing. Hold on. That doesn't sound bad.
Is now on Facebook. Find us at facebook.com/radio.
You can hear me just fine? The audience is now deaf, says Lepidus. Let's see exactly what you're hearing. Hold on. Sounds great. Sounds fine. Doesn't sound bad. Yeah, I agree with him. Doesn't sound bad. Alright, hold on. Can you hear me just fine? I can hear me just fine. Yes? I can hear you just fine, Brandon. The audience is now deaf, says Lepidus. See? Let's see exactly what you're hearing. I don't know. Sounds great. He says I sound fine. I agree with him. Oh, he also says I sound fine, and I agree with him. Yeah, it's fine. You can hear me just fine. Yeah. Alright. Enough of that. Sorry. Let's see. Why are you guys in pain? The volume is too loud? Check, check, check. There, I turned down the volume. How's that? Audio is fine. Schwarmick hears me and he says he's deaf. But his hearing aids are turned out because he's old. Yes, of course. Alright, there you go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's just slightly distracting when you turn on the show and the first thing out of everybody's mouth in the chat is, "Ah, the noise, I'm deaf! Oh!" So, yeah, but here we are. Look, today is a hot day. Go to the Google machine, open up a new browser tab, and type in temperature in Seattle right now. Yeah, it's hot. And here I am stuck in a coffin. I'm touching both walls of my office, and the sun sets over here, so it's beating down on me. And I made the mistake of purchasing these black drapes, which of course absorb heat and light, instead of white, which would reflect light. And so I am sweltering. But you know what? That's okay. I'm going to sit here and drink water. Here we go. Time to hydrate. You just watched a man drink water on the internet. It's exciting stuff. But we don't just drink water here at ScotchandSmokerings.com. We, of course, drink Scotch, hence the name Scotch in Scotch and Smoke Rings. Lismore, single malt Scotch whiskey, our go-to Scotch, our fine standby. We've had this bottle for months. And we're making good use out of it. So pour yourselves a gentlemanly beverage, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, we're almost out. Looks like I've got one more cup, one more ounce, really, of Scotch in the bottle, which means I'm going to have to bottle up again. But cheers, ladies and gentlemen, and bottoms up to a gentlemanly glass of Scotch on such a warm and sweaty evening. Cheers. That's warm. That's very warm Scotch. Sepri says, not tuned in since episode 130 due to the 3 a.m. time frame. It's good to see you again, Ox. Good to see you, Sepri. Trying to remember if I remember your name, and I think I do. But it's a pleasure to have you back. It's been, what, a couple years since you were last here. Well, it's good to have you, my friend. Alright, apparently me complaining because it's 78 degrees here in Seattle is me being a wuss, a wimp, a pansy. But you know what? I'm from Alaska. I don't like the heat. The heat and I do not mix. Put me in a blizzard and I'm fine. Introduce me to people at Blizzard and I'm also fine. Fill my pants with snow and you won't see me cringe. But strand me on a desert island and I will be a very miserable friend. So you get to see me at my worst here in this miserable Seattle weather, which is not that bad, but Goldbread says lol blizzard pun. Yeah, couldn't help it. Alright, today we are smoking a very fine cigar. I bought this special today. Still no cigars in my P.O. box. Cigar Ox must be taking a vacation. He's typically the fellow that funds this fine program with a nice selection of cigars, but I don't see him in the chat today. Oh well, that's alright. Today I had to purchase my own, and I purchased a rather stellar one. It's called the Perdomo Reserve Limited Champagne. And I guess they call it champagne because it comes in this gold wrapper. Few cigars come in a gold wrapper. Esmer2 Dragon says, my YouTube plague is crooked. My YouTube plague? Either you're misspelling the word page, and there's something wrong with my YouTube page, in which case I need to go fix it, or there's some sort of plague on YouTube. Well, in that case, it's a good thing I'm not on YouTube right now. I'm on scotchandsmokerings.com, as are you. So, let's stay here and avoid the plague, ladies and gentlemen. Plaque, says Esmer2 Dragon. P-L-A-K. Plaque. And then he corrects himself. Plaque. P-L-A-C-K. Plaque is in teeth? There's plaque on my YouTube? These are called teeth, not YouTubes, my friend. And slightly. Dragon Exile corrects and says plank. My YouTube plank is crooked. I'm slightly confused here. You know what? I'm not going to pay attention to all of that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the cigar because this is the essential step before smoking the cigar is, of course, to cut it. While the rest of the chat worries about the correct spelling of the word plaque. Alright, here we go. Ooh. So there's a little bit of a cap at the end of each one, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish the cap from the actual leaf because it wraps all the way around, and you don't want to cut that because then it unravels. And I think I did cut it. Blast. Oh well. Where's my matches? Wait, do I need matches or do I have my lighter? No! Oh, fail. No. Say it ain't so. I need fire. Man must have fire to smoke the tobacco. What's this? Ah, matches. Gulbread says, you culp Ebutu et Xif. Thanks for that, my friend. Better turn off the fan. If I'm going to be lighting the cigar, the fan must be off, and here I roast. before I turn on the fan to cure my sweatiness here. Cheapers. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am just absolutely miserable. I think you can see it in my face. I am just, oh. I'm gonna, what is it that Queen said in their famous song, "The show must go on"? The show must go on. There we go. Enough smoke rings to say that I have done them. Whew. And now some much needed air. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to get through today. Gentleman Badger says, I can feel the class in the air tonight. I'm glad you can. What I'm feeling is something completely different. Jim Gadden says, Oxhorn, it seems like I meet a lot of people studying elementary education. Quite a coincidence. It's true. I mean, you learn how to spell the word plaque in elementary school, right? Just saying. Fan art fine, sir, says shoot. Yeah, I will get to that. Don't you worry, my friend. Sensana says, you live in Seattle. You do not know the definition of hot. Yes, that's true. I live in Seattle where it's a moderate climate. It typically does not get hot here. Look, I went to Las Vegas once for a work trip. It was nothing like The Hangover, no crazy movies. I went for a work trip to sell software to hotel owners. Wasn't exciting, but it was super hot. I don't know how people can stand it. I landed in a cement jungle. And then I went from one air-conditioned airport to an air-conditioned cab. And then as I'm stepping out of my air-conditioned cab to walk as fast as I can into my air-conditioned hotel, I almost caught fire from the heat of the sun. Oh, and then my coworkers and I were trying to get a bottle of Irish whiskey. And so we decided to walk to the nearest liquor store because a cab would have been expensive. And I stepped outside. I'm like, no, it is not worth it. I don't care if Irish whiskey is amazing, which it is. Stepping outside in the middle of the night in Las Vegas is not worth it. It's too hot. So I do have an appreciation for heat outside of Seattle. And I do not mix with heat well at all. So I'm suffering with the Seattle heat, and that's enough. That's all I want to experience. Lowman Z is in the chat today. Hello there, Oxhorn Monkey Face, says Lowman Z. Pleasure to see you, Lowman Z. Good to see you here again. Kayla J to go says, Brandon, come to Georgia, then tell me Seattle is hot. Yeah, no, that's a fair criticism. I don't want to live in Georgia. I don't think I ever could do it. Whew. Oh, I don't know how you fellows do it. Dragon Exile says, been having a really bad day. Thanking the Lord that it's Thursday because the show just started, already making my day a little bit better. Well, I'm glad that you're here with us all today, Dragon Exile. Kudos to you, and I hope your day gets better. Let's lift our glasses to the betterment of Dragon Exile's day. Cheers and bottoms up, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to this every week. I've stopped smoking my cigars outside of Thursdays just because they're expensive and I'm trying to save money. And so I allow myself one cigar a week. It's a big deal. I'll take 30 minutes at work and I'll put on my cap and I'll wear my fine leather shoes. And I will walk down the cement sidewalk in downtown Seattle to my local cigar house. And as I walk in the door, the fine Indian gentleman recognizes me. I'm one of his favorite patrons. And he will smile and say, hello, Brandon. Sir, would you like a cigar today? And I will say, yes, please, escort me to thine fine humidor, which of course he does. And as we peruse his selection, I invariably choose the same cigar every time. I'm rather fond of these little fellows in the golden wrapper, but it's a pleasant experience. It's a great little jaunt. And then I walk back to the office with my proud cigar proudly put in my breast pocket. And then all my coworkers say, ooh, you have a fantastic evening ahead of you today, don't you, Brandon? And I say, yes, I do. And most of them know that I do the show, and so some of them come and watch the show. Hello, coworkers, if you are there. You may not be there, or you may. And then here I sit before you, my fine fans and friends, and together we imbibe delicious nectar of the grain, and we smoke the ignited leaves of epicness. It's a fine day. Cigar Ox says, news flash, more cigars are coming for you this weekend. Hey! Cigar Ox is in the chat today, the venerable patron of this fine show. Thank you very much, Cigar Ox, for your gentlemanly contribution. I gotta say, fan number 1 for the show today, right? Cigar Ox says, it's so hard to smoke over 100 cigars in a small amount of time. It is. That's the beauty of cigars. Unlike cigarettes, which you can just burn through if that's your habit, a cigar is a little treasure that you enjoy slowly with your gentlemanly friends over time. It's a social thing. It brings people together in community to commune over gentlemanly beverages instead of cigarettes, which you shamefully smoke in 60 seconds outside of a bar and then throw the butts on the ground. It's a different culture altogether. Not to disparage those who smoke the cigarette, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. Califus93 says, what's up with the sound? I'm not the only one with issues. Please let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if you experience additional sound issues, and if so, I will try to do something to fix it. I don't know what I can do. Baldock says, love to see Roller and Top Cigar Ox. Rolleron used to submit cigars to the show frequently. I'm not sure where he's been, but we miss him. We miss him. Gobrad says, hey Oxhorn, I'm heading to London this summer. What classy English hat do you suggest I buy there? Of course, you gotta go with the Derby, or if you're there, you have to call it a bowler. I believe in the UK, it's dubbed a bowler, and then only in America, it's the Derby. Or is it vice versa? I think it's bowler in America and Derby in the UK. I forget. You'll have to figure that out when you get there. But that's actually where the Derby was invented, was in England. And the reason it was invented is because it was customary for the rich landowners of the time to go fox hunting while wearing top hats. And because they were riding so swiftly on their horses, they would have to hold on to their top hats or else the wind would knock them off. And there was many a silk top hat ruined from being cast off of a gentleman's head and crashing to the ground in ruin. So one fine entrepreneur says, what can I do to the hot top hat to make it more aerodynamical? Round it up. So now a gentleman could wear his gentlemanly derby while still fox hunting, and the wind wouldn't knock it off his head. William Moore says, hail, hail, good Oxhorn. Sir, I trust your cigars are fresh and your Scotch ice cold. The Scotch is sadly not even lukewarm. It's hot. Like, touch it and it hurts. Watch. That's a hot Scotch. But the cigar is lovely, so who am I to complain? Big Evil 103 says, I finally caught the stream again after so long. Hello again, Brandon. Well, hello again, Big Evil. Good to see you, my friend. Dysmorphic says, I feel offended because I smoke cigarettes. I'm sorry. That's not my intention. No disparaging remarks against cigarette smokers. I just think that smoking the classy cigar is a more gentlemanly way of approaching the tobacco plant. Menzo Bernanza TV says, oh, ahoy, Brandon. Good to see you. Icky Bang Tang says, no, Icky Patang. Icky Patang, of course, a reference to Monty Python. Ikipatang zoop boing says, have you ever smoked a cigar that had a bad review but curiosity got the better of you, tried it, and liked it? Well, pleasure to see you both in the chat today. And the answer to that Ikipatang zoop boing is, of course, yes. I smoked, what was it that really had a bad review? But I actually enjoy it. I think it was called a Nika Libre. I don't even know if they make them anymore. I think it's Victor Sinclair that makes the cigar. And it was called a Nika Libre, but I purchased it because it was the cheapest box-pressed cigar that I could find at the time. This was years ago. And so I got a little box of 10, and they arrived, and they ended up being one of my favorite cigars. Even to this day, I still have memories of how amazing those cigars were. So Nika Libre, yeah, that would be a good one. They had poor reviews online. Girlbed says, well, I already have a top hat, so I was wondering what to get. A derby is now on my list. And yes, your second spelling is the correct spelling. Or is it derby? Derby. Yeah, I think it's I-E, not Y. Well, I look forward to your trip. I think you're going to have fun. I've never been to England. I would love to go to London. I'm not that much of an Anglophile. I mean, I really am, but I've never been to the UK. I would love to visit. If you go, you need to wear a top hat with some nice Oxfords, a cane, some white gloves, and just walk around in a nice sports coat and some slacks, and you're going to turn heads. That's the true London get-up there, my friend. One moment, I gotta take this phone call. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I normally don't stop the show to take personal phone calls, but that was from my grandfather. And when your grandfather is 85 years old and he calls you, you pick up the phone. That's the polite thing to do for your grandparents. So lesson. This is one thing we do here on Scotch and Smoke Rings is we deliver moral lessons. If your grandparents call, you got to drop everything you're doing to talk to them because it's important. They've lived for a very long time and they can distill a lot of wisdom in a short period of time. My ash has already fallen off. Gentleman Badger says, wish him a classy day. I will. You know, my grandfather is an amazing man. He worked in the Air Force during the NASA moon landing. What's going on with my keyboard? Sorry. So he was there. He was actually pretty high up. He was in charge of a lot of the logistics that went behind the NASA moon landing. So he was privy to that experience, and he saw a lot of the really cool things that happened. And in my youth, I'm embarrassed to tell this story. So Yeah, I'm gonna have to tell it because I already said something. But in my ignorant, immature youth, I at one time believed everything that I read on the internet, and went to my grandfather and said, "So you know they faked the moon landing, right?" Oh, I know. I hear myself say that and I cringe because it's just so. Oh, and my poor grandfather, he took that with as much grace as he could, and he sat me down and he said, "Son, there are a few things I need to tell you about the moon landing." And I learned very quickly at that moment that even if you see a video of a faked moon landing set on the internet, probably not a good thing to believe, right? So thankfully he corrected me, and at the ripe old age of 32, going on 33, I will never make such a crazy mistake again. So believe what you read on the internet with a grain of salt. That's my lesson to you on that. She says, "Say it, Oxhorn. We won't judge you." Okay, never mind. I'm judging you now. Yeah, no, I deserve it. Yeah, anyone. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I won't say that, but I definitely deserved it. Owani says, "Hey, Oxhorn, I love the show. I remember watching elves dancing upon mailboxes. I love the music you play behind the show. I was wondering if you had a playlist, and I'm curious to see if you're willing to share." Yeah, I'm listening to a free radio station. It streams free online. It's called Radio Dismuke. They play music from the 20s and the 30s, and they also share some vintage commercials, which are always fun to listen to. But yeah, it's completely free. Just go to the Google machine and type in Radio Dismuke, and you can check that out. I'm glad you're a fan of my old movies and my music. So I have a question. I've been talking with Nathan Allen Pinard. You all know Nathan Allen Pinard as the amazingly talented composer who did all of the instrumental music for my movies, and he also helped me with the arrangement and the instruments behind much of my published songs. And I haven't produced a lot of music recently because he's retired. He's got a full-time job. But he recently came back to me and said, "Hey, I'm getting some free time. Would you be interested in collaborating on some future music?" And so that's my question to you. If I produced another album, or if we even produced a single together, would you be interested in it? I don't think I could do it if it doesn't sell, but if it sells, I might be able to invest the time. So you'll have to let me know if you think that that's going to be interesting. Esmer2 Dragon says, "I wish to attempt one more time. Your YouTube 100,000 sub plaque behind you is crooked. I don't mean to nag, but my occud is making me itch." Well, good sir, if you have an itch, it's probably not best to talk about it in public, because that makes people think. They try to envision your itch, and it's not, I mean, we don't know where you're itching, and it's slightly awkward. They have creams for that. I'm sure you could just go down to your local Walgreens and get that taken care of. So, thanks for sharing, but we're just going to have to leave that where it's at. What do you mean that? Oh! Well, yeah, sure. Why didn't you say so? Yeah. The better? You happy now? Alright. Yes, I'd buy it. I could go for that. I'd buy it if I have the cash. So it's yes on the music? Alright. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to have to talk with him. Esmer says thank you. You're welcome, Esmer. I'd hate to make people uncomfortable watching this show. Dragon XL says your grandfather was in the military, you say. In that case, I salute your granddad with all my respect, good sir. Indeed. He was a gentleman, is a gentleman, and a scholar. Varler says Oxhorn's arm looks so long when he reaches back there because of perspective. Whoa, you're right. Baldock says, the date is July 30th, 2009. Zug Zug. was just a babe and a star with glasses and a bowler. Made his debut with episode 1 of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Indeed, all my archived episodes are up at scotchandsmokerings.com. Well, not all of them, but most of them. The very first one is there. Was quite a different episode. HT Star says tomorrow is my birthday, Oxhorn. Well, happy birthday to you ahead of time, HT Star. Major kudos to you. Here's a toast to HT Star and his coming birthday. May it be filled with lots of cake, and if you don't like cake, then lots of pie. And if you don't like pie, then indeed you need to look at your life and reevaluate your life, because that's crazy. Everybody likes pie. Who doesn't like pie? Cheers. Bottoms up. Trying to figure out what language that is. Swedish? That's Swedish. Or Norwegian? Alright, we got fan art. Let's see. Let's get this fan art up so that we can enjoy it. Alright, let me share my screen with you so that you can see the fan art that I enjoy. Alright, my computer's lagging. Hold on.
You are listening to Radio Dismute. RadioDismute.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
Alright, first up is this fine piece from Imagine Justin, who says, finally got me a pipe. Hope to stay classy enough because I'm getting a hat next month. Well, congratulations, Imagine Justin. That looks like a fine briar pipe. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy my own pipes. So this one was shared by Daniel Copland, and I won't play it for you just because I don't want to lag you out, but if you go to the Scotch and Smoke Rings group, you can watch it, and basically it's a guy who used a Hearthstone hack to get like 6 open mana crystals on the very first round so that he could use a legendary card. Freaked some people out, that's for sure. So it's a great video, check it out. Then there's this by Damon LaRue, and it's shawarma with bacon. Well, as we all know, shawarma only improves with both age and bacon. So thank you for that one. I'm sure you're going to be giving shawarma something to think about. This one is from Piotr, and it's bacon makes everything better. Indeed, this goes hand in hand with the previous one as well. So shawarma plus bacon equals better shawarma. Then there's this from Jennifer, and it's mustache duct tape. Look, mustache can do anything from repairing holes in boats to fixing marriages. And duct tape with mustaches, of course, works even better. So get yourself some mustache duct tape. Then there's this. I completed an epic guide to beard care on growabeardnow.com. I've got a link up on our Scotch and Smoke Rings group, so you can check it out. I put a lot of time and energy into it. So if you're interested at all in growing a beard and caring for a gentlemanly beard, check it out. It's got some good photography and some great tips on how to care for your beard. So check that out. Then there's this by Pat Takita, and this is from the Incredibeard guys. There are just some things I will never see again. My chin is one. Indeed. I have not seen my chin in many years, and I do not miss it. Here's one from Pat Takita. Sure, I remember being beardless. Then I turned 10. Story of my life. I grew my beard at a very young age. And that's all the fan art we have today, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your fine submissions. Next, we have your voicemail. So I'm going to pause the music for a moment so that we can listen to all your voicemail. For those who don't know, you can go to... Oh dear. My son is trying to break into the room. You can go to scotchandsmokerings.com, and there's a floating button to the side of the screen that says leave Oxhorn a message. Come on, kiddo. No. Baby, I love you, but you got to keep the door closed. Baby, go to mama. Go to your mama, okay? Thank you. I love you, little Gavin, but I can't play with you right now. Daddy's working. He's not twerking. He's working. Okay, buddy? Go play with your toys. Oh, makes me feel horrible every time I have to say that I don't want to play with him. But we have some messages here. The first one comes from Captain Maximov. Captain Maximov, you are on the show. What is on your mind?
Hey, Oxhorn. This is Captain Maximov. How are you?
I'm well.
For such a lovely stream. It has certainly kept me company over many months in my recovery. I appreciate all of your due diligence and keeping a bunch of ragamuffins such as ourselves together.
Okay.
I look forward to a brilliant smoke ship at the end of the sea, and I hope you are well. Take care, my dear friend.
Well, thank you, good sir. Those are very kind thoughts, and I also am looking forward to the smoke ship at the end of the program. Thanks for your message. I sure hope his mother comes by soon to kind of distract him. There's no lock on this door, you see, so I can't lock him out. It's just, and he's old enough now that he can figure out how to open doors. Gavin, buddy, you're naked. You're in your diaper. This is not appropriate attire for being on a video program. You need to be wearing your gentlemanly clothing. I love you, but Daddy's got to work. All right. Next up is this voice message from Imagine Justin. Imagine Justin, you are on the line.
Hello, Oxhorn.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Justin here. Hey, I just found out you just posted up the top 10 beard care tips on Facebook. I took a look at them, and the first one was showing, the second one. So it was showing not to fondle your beard because your hands were the greatest enemy. So I am wondering, can combs and brushes lead to the same thing?
Great question.
Can they actually take off the beard hair strands and stuff? I want to know more. I actually want to see what's going on.
That's a great question, Imagine Justin, and the answer is yes. Your instinct serves you well. So the reason that you don't want to fondle your beard too much is because, throughout the day you could accidentally pull out a strand or two. You could get caught on a knot and yank something out. And then sometimes your strands are in their telogen phase, which means that they're just resting, and they're going to eventually fall out because that's what beard hairs do. But you don't want to pull them out too early because it'll thin your beard and make it look less full. And the same is true for combs and brushes. Now, brushes, in my opinion, are more likely to snag beard hairs and pull them out, simply because there are more bristles in a brush and you get greater coverage. So I prefer to use a comb. There are only 10 or so different bristles. You can still get a nice shape out of your beard, and you risk tugging out fewer of the bristles. So that's my suggestion. Doomageddon is up next. Doomageddon, sir, what is on your mind?
Oxhorn, this is Doomageddon. I have a question I would like to ask you and the audience. If you were stranded on a deserted island,
okay,
and your companion was an elf,
okay,
would you ever be stranded with a blood elf or a night elf? Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, which is the lesser of two evils? That's a great question. So for those who didn't hear him, he said if you were stranded on a desert island and you were stuck with a companion, would you choose a night elf or a blood elf to be stranded with? That's a tough one, but my answer is going to be blood elf, only because the blood elves at least chose Horde, right? I mean, the night elves, sure, they're pink and purple, but they chose the Alliance, and that just says something about their reasoning process. Anyone who chooses Alliance, well, don't get me started. But the blood elves, they at least chose the Horde despite their, mailbox dancing ways. So even though it would be disgusting and it would be a trying experience, I would at least be able to talk wonderful things about the Horde with them. So there you go. That's your answer. Gentleman Badger says his wife is a blood elf. That's true. Nova, my beautiful wife, is indeed a blood elf. So in my own way, I'm stranded on a desert island with a blood elf. At least she's not a night elf, so there you go. Black Shawarma says, shall I send you a knob lock? I suppose I should get a lock on that so that I can keep the poor kid out when I'm working. Well, he'll grow up and he'll learn that when Daddy is smoking a cigar, it's time to go play with the toys or to read the books. And soon he'll have a baby sister who's old enough to play with, so he'll be able to entertain himself that way. Pitch your book, says Baldox. Indeed, The Tale of Cloran Hastings, my swashbuckling adventure scene novel. How could I forget to talk about my own book on my own show? For those who have not purchased it yet, it is still available for the low price of money. On CloranHastings.com, I recently lowered the price for both the printed version and the digital version. So get yours today. It is many hundreds of pages of wonderful fantasy and epic adventure reading. You will enjoy it. Well, my name isn't Oxhorn. It's not legally, but still, you get the point. All right. Shiyut says, Oxhorn, let's all just be honest here. All right, let's be honest. Your hatred of elves is only working half and half. Neither are actually hippies. In fact, the Tauren are hippies. All right, look, here's the way that I like to think about this. Tolkien loved trees. He wrote epic fantasy adventures in which he revered the trees so much that the Ents were created, which were giant tree creatures. And he personally cared for many trees in his own property. He loved trees. But this is also a man who smoked a tobacco pipe and went to his neighborhood pub to speak with the Inklings, which were a literary club of which he was, of which he belonged. He wore tweed jackets and dressed in nice clothing, which hippies do not do. So, a love of nature does not necessarily mean that you are a hippie. I love nature in my own way. I love trees. I live in the Pacific Northwest, where we find massive redwoods in the Mirror Woods. So, I am not necessarily a hater of nature, but I also bathe. Hippies don't bathe. I don't wear beads. Hippies wear beads, right? Plus, the Tauren had hooves. Hippies don't have hooves. Therefore, the Tauren could not be hippies. Elves, on the other hand, they deal with magic and, you know, they've got this lust after magic, and that's kind of what hippies do with their chants and their dancing in circles and peace bloom and blah, blah, blah. So, there you go. That's my reasoning.
Right now. Let them know about the wonderful music you're enjoying right here on Radio Dismute.
Owani says he's the modern Ernest Hemingway. Well, thank you. I will take that as a compliment. I admire Hemingway's ability to say very much with very few words. He was excellent at his craft. His personal life had much to be desired. Lots of personal issues that he dealt with. So I'm not going to compare myself to Hemingway, but he was an excellent writer, as I hope I am, right? William Moore says, Dear Oxhorn, Sir, I hate to impose, but my mother's birthday is this Saturday, and I was wondering if you could please give her a happy birthday shout-out. Her name is Jessie. Please and thank you, fine sir. You know, a character in my novel's name is Jessie. The love interest of Mallory, his wife, was named Jessie, so Jessie is a fine name. Cheers to your mother, whose birthday is coming. Happy birthday to you. You have raised a fine son with excellent taste. Cheers. Okay, Goldbreath is going off on Tauren magic and hippies. Look, my Tauren was not a hippie. My Tauren could turn into a fearsome bear and maul you. It's not a hippie. Alright, many are asking whether or not I will play Hearthstone today. And I have been loath to play Hearthstone because every time I log on, I get I get set into purgatory where I'm constantly trying to join a game and I can't. So we'll see. I'll try. I'm going to log into the game and then try to play a game with you, ladies and gentlemen. At least one. I can't promise that I'll do very many, but I will play at least one if I can get it working. The Mekion says, I'm drinking fine tequila instead of scotch. Is that okay? Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and judge your drink choice. I have never been too fond of tequila because it's basically just, it's clear and it's fairly tasteless. People tend to put a lot of sugary flavorings with tequila to kind of give it its flavor. That said, there are certain tequilas that are high-shelf tequilas that taste really good. They have their own unique flavors. My palate isn't mature enough to be able to appreciate it. So my lack of interest in tequila is really my own mature failings, I suppose. Scotch, on the other hand, is so strong that I can appreciate it. It's got a nice peaty flavor. It's really hard to miss. So, no, I'm not going to say that you're unclassy for drinking tequila. But this just has color to it, and it's a fine beverage. But pick your poison. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Let me get the game going here.
Welcome back.
Let me see if I can get into a game. Oh! Oh, is this working? We'll see. Looks like it's working.
Versus Uther.
I will fight with honor. Victory or death.
Alright, we got into a game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Who am I fighting today? I'm fighting Magin Justin. Magin Justin, good to have you here. I'll try to be easy on you. Reelinez says, I live in the 1920s, except I play Blizzard computer games. Look, if I lived in the 1920s and Blizzard computer games existed, yes, I would live in the 1920s and play Blizzard computer games. It's just the way it goes.
What now? Well met. My thanks.
I like how there's an epic argument about elves in the chat right now. Madry says 1920 1080. I see what you did there. Yes, 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 yes. Judge my screen resolution if you can, if you dare.
What now? Job's done.
All right, Madge and Justin, let's do this.
Reporting for duty.
All right. So far, so good. Reelinez says, what would it take for you to tip the cap? Not much, my friend. Pleasure to have you in the show. I tip my cap to you.
Reporting for duty.
There we go. Bottoms up. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Imbibe your imbibable. Oh my goodness, what just happened there?
Get behind.
Das sind die alten Geschichten von Wien. Frag nur ein Wiener Kind, wo die zu hören sind. Geh vor die Stadt, wo die Kirchhäuser blühen.
Alright, Madge and Justin, your move, my friend.
Lauter die raus.
I wonder.
Black Shawarma says, there's a problem tonight with the quality having a slight tinny sound. We're aware of the situation, and it has been corrected to manageable levels, aka grin and bear it. Yes, sorry about the sound quality, but it'll be fixed in time for next week, I assure you. Uh-oh.
Vom Himmel sein, Wien und der Wein, Wien und der Wein.
I wonder. For the War Chief!
Lame.
I'll take it out.
The gates are open.
Got a rabbit's foot in my pocket, got a rusty horseshoe too. Got a little elf sitting on my shelf, still no love with you. Got a good love ring on my finger, Jimmy, that's brand new. Got a voodoo charm hanging on my arm, still no love with you.
Things are going so well. Pretty good so far.
Let a black cat cross my path. Even sleep upon a piece of wedding cake. Got a hunch that
Oh man, healing yourself? Hacks. Hacks, I claim hacks.
now you can't deny.
Pass me that arc light scanner.
Still no luck with you.
I'll take him out.
This could still go any way. We'll see. Captain Maximov Valentine, Captain of the Skies, says, by the way, Oxhorn, I heard you have another little one to add to the family. Is there going to be anyone on the way? Any more on the way? Yes. So, you're absolutely correct. My wife just gave birth to our baby daughter, and I am hoping that there will be more on the way.
Got a rusty horse to do. Got a little elf sitting on my step. You know luck with you, but it won't matter.
For the king!
That's brand new. Got a blue star hanging on my heart. Still no luck with you. I throw smoke over my shoulder, hoping I'll get a break. Never let a black cat cross my path.
Reporting for duty.
Ain't got a hunch.
Squire, attend me.
Got me. Oh, I
Ready, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Now you can't deny that you're your pride. You know luck with you.
The gates are open. Farewell.
Looking good.
Justice. Reporting for duty. The frost wolves stand ready. Job's done.
What's your move, my friend? What's your move? Oh, no! Bad move! Bad move! Whoa! Rubbish! Ah! Digga-digga-doo, digga-doo.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, that was a risky move on my part, but we'll see if it pays off.
Reporting for duty.
Oh! No! Ah! Pain! Indeed. Uh-oh. No! Oh no! Oh rubbish! Blast! You and your secrets! Oh. Oh, I can't watch this. I will not concede, but I can't watch. Oh. No, right in the Gulliver. Oh. Nicely done, Imagine Justin. Nicely done. Well played. Rig-a-dig-a-doo, rig-a-doo-doo. Alright, who have I got today? Shoot!
For Doomhammer, victory or death!
Shield says, Ox, I respect you, but for all of Azeroth, as I believe, like the Dragon Queen, I shall crush you. Alright, bold words, my friend, bold words.
What you want?
Your move, my friend, your move. He says, seriously though, good luck and honor to you, my friend, indeed. Happy battling.
Blood and plunder!
Let us see where this road takes us.
May my ancestors
Ah.
try this. No quarter.
No quarter, indeed. Alright, I'm slowly whittling away at him. Oh, Doomhammer! Okay.
Radio.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
Watch this.
Do your worst. Whoa! Whoa! All right, that's pretty bad.
Watch this.
All right, my friend. Let's see how this plays out. All right, I'm getting excuses.
You know, Ella wasn't there.
What you want?
Which is a good sign.
Oh, so Ella, look out. Everybody get rid of poor Ella long. Don't you think easier? Yes, sir. She's there yet. Oh boy, if you hear him again.
The crossbow stand ready.
Tell him a nervous thing. They're speaking of nobody but you.
Watch this.
There we go. Apparently I had him beat previously, but I didn't take the appropriate step. Good job, my friend. Nicely done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Smoke Ship. For those who don't know, every week on this fine program, I blow a smoke ship into existence that did not exist previously, using the might and power of my patented set bonus. What is on your mind? And I will try to blow a smoke ship in the design that you desire.
Why, she even, yes sir, just like Kelly on the plate.
Still a little nectar left in this glass. Cheers. William Moore says, Cloran Hastings sailing a Viking warship on through a storm of cigar smoke mist as Vikings rowed the ship through the sea while singing the Great Kodo as Oxhorn, Staghorn, and Mortus jumped from their warship to other gnome battleships and panda merchant ships plundering said ships for gold, bacon, and tobacco, then leaping back to the warship while the more Vikings shoot flaming cigar arrows at any evil hippie pirates that they come across. Indeed, indeed, nicely done. Holy Cow Kill 3 says Oxhorn, Staghorn, Mortus, and Hat, all flying on a bacon and Scotch-powered Zeppelin flying above a sea of fans arguing about elves and hippies, fighting in an epic battle between Majin Justin and Shiot to determine the fate of Azeroth's bacon supplies. Nicely said. Majin Justin says, an image of Oxhorn, Stag, and Mort standing near the hill where they created their swear words. A fine place. Ghoulbreath says, an iron zeppelin with a bacon balloon shooting elf skin-wrapped gnome cannonballs down on Darnassus using smoke rings to propel itself with Cloran Hastings, and Oxhorn at the wheel with fans cheering. A good one if ever there was. Here's a typical Hemingway-style smoke ship from the venerable Shawarma. One bacon cheddar BBQ burger with waffle fries and a chocolate shake. Every week he tells me what he's hungry for. Basically, those are his smoke ships. He says, I'm hungry for this. Let's turn it into smoke. And then he gives it for us to enjoy. Well, thank you for that. You have now made me hungry, Shawarma. Right, great smoke ships all around. Nicely done, ladies and gentlemen. Today I think I'm going to choose William Moore, whose smoke ships are always excellent, and I don't believe I've done one of his recently. So, William Moore's smoke ship. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, for it will only be before your eyes for the briefest of brief moments. Whoa! Did you see it? If you blinked, you missed it. But for the briefest of moments, before your very eyes, were Cloran Hastings sailing a Viking warship on through a storm of cigar smoke mist, as Vikings row the ship through the sea while singing the Great Kodo, as Oxhorn, Staghorn, and Mortus jump from the warship to other gnome battleships and panda merchant ships, plundering them for gold, bacon, and tobacco, then leaping back to the warship while more Vikings shoot flaming cigar arrows at any evil hippie pirates they come across. Imagine Justin says, I saw it. Indeed! Indeed you did, good sir, because the smoke ships that come from this venerable maw are epic in nature. What can I say? That's reality, and I'm a straight shooter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 250, what? 8, is it? 258, I think. I'll be sure to get the back episodes up on Scotch and Smoke Rings soon. Go to scotchandsmokerings.com, click the button that says Leave Me a Message, and leave me a message, and I'll be sure to play them next week. Thank you all for coming. Check out my new article on growabeardnow.com, which is called Beard Care, Top 10 Beard Grooming Tips. Very important for all of those who are trying to grow an epic beard. And of course, purchase my novel, my epic sea adventure novel, The Tale of Cloran Hastings, at any fine online retailer. And by fine, I mean cloranhastings.com. That's where you'll find it. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this week's episode. Stay safe, have a happy weekend, and as always, we say here at scotchandsmokerings.com, be sure, my friends, that you stay classy. Hot. Bottoms up.